Recording. Hi, Cora. Thanks for coming over here and sitting down with me. I have a very fun story game we're going to do today. Can you read this title?
Frog, where are you?
Very good. Okay, this is a special book. You want to know why?
Why?
Because there are no words
What
in
the
this
heck?
book. It's just pictures. Okay, so what you're going to do is we're going to look at the book together, and you're just going to look at the pictures and just think about a story in your head the first time, okay? Then the second time, I'm going to give you the book, and you're going to tell me a story from the pictures. Okay, do you understand?
Yep.
So what are we going to do the first time?
We're going to read it together.
No.
Look at the pictures together.
Very good. Okay, and what are you going to do the second time?
I'm going to look at the pictures and make a story of them.
Very good. Okay, ready?
So we're going to play a little game together, and what we're going to do is we're going to set up little scenarios with some figures I have, and I'm going to start the story, and then you're going to finish the story. So what am I going to do? Start the story. And what are you going to do? Very good. Okay, so the first story is called Jamie Goes to School. So actually, it's called Bobby Goes to School. So this is Bobby, and this is mom and dad. And Bobby just grabbed his backpack, and he's all ready for school, and he said bye to his mom and dad, and heads out, and then waiting for the bus, and oh, here comes the bus. So what happens next?
He gets on the bus and sits down next to his friends, and they have a good time talking around the way to school. And then they get to school and he gets off and walks to class.
Is that all? Alright, very good. Okay, so the next scene is called Bobby Hurts His Knee. So Bobby is outside with mom and dad.
Okay, that's the end.
Dad's
Okay, now
like,
you're going to tell me a story based on the pictures and do the best you can, and you can make it as long as you want.
Okay.
Oh, he trips.
Well,
and
one day,
hurts his knee.
there was a boy named Joe
Okay.
and his dog named Fred. And they had a frog named Molly. It's going to be a girl frog. Then one day, Joe was sleeping, and so was Fred. And Molly decided to climb out of her jar.
Alright.
And when Joe woke up, the frog was gone, and Molly was gone. Joe looked everywhere for her and couldn't find her, looked in her shoe. Fred even looked inside the jar. And then they looked outside, they called her name, and still no Molly. So then they decided that they were going to go on a trip to look for her. And they went through the woods and they yelled her name. And then they looked in a hole because they thought she could be in a hole. And, well, Fred is barking at bees. And then a squirrel jumped out and bit his nose. So then they decided she's not in the hole, so they went and looked in a hole in the tree. And then an owl jumped out and knocked Joe over while Fred is being chased by a group of bees. Then the owl flew away and hit Joe on the head, so Joe decided he was going to climb a rock and call for Molly that way. Well, on top of the rock, he got stuck on a deer's antlers, and the deer walked him and Fred to the edge of a cliff, and he pushed them over into a lake where they fell into the water and got all wet. Fred, scared, jumped onto Joe's head, and then Joe saw a log and decided he was going to look over the log and told Fred to be quiet. As they're climbing over the log, they found a mama and daddy frog, and then they had babies. They finally found Molly, who had found a mate and had babies. So they were nice, Molly and her husband, and they decided to give Joe a baby frog for him and Fred, and the end. They went home and they had a frog.
Very good, Cora. That was a great story. That was awesome. Okay, now we're going to switch tasks here.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to do something else.
So
Let's just kind of hold this around.
Bobby is at the store with his
Okay.
mom,
Oh,
and
Okay.
walk in and
there we go.
they see
Okay,
their
so
neighbor.
what we're going to do now
Say hi.
is we are going to tell stories with different
They
figures,
keep walking,
okay?
Bobby gets distracted.
And so
His mom keeps
this
going, not knowing.
is Janie, okay?
Gets lost.
See her?
What
She's a little
happens?
girl. Okay.
He's walking
So,
around looking for
what we're going to do is I'm going to start telling a story, and then you get to finish the story. Okay, so what are you going to do?
Finish the story.
And what am I going to do?
Start the story.
Very good. Okay, so the first one is Janie has her backpack and her school bag, okay, everything that she needs, her lunch pack, everything. And she says bye to her parents, and she goes out and she's waiting for the bus, okay? And all of a sudden, look at this. The bus pulls up. What happens next?
She gets on the bus and sits with all her friends, and they talk and have a good old time.
And
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right. The next story we're going to tell is Janie is playing outside, and as you can see, these are her mom and her dad, okay? And her mom's planting a garden, and her dad's raking the leaves, and Janie's running, and here is a swing set, okay? And she's running, and oh my gosh, she fell, and ow, she hurt her knee, and she doesn't know what to do. What happens next?
Her mom and dad turn around because she is crying like crazy, and they turn around and they run over to her to see what's wrong, and they take care of her. And they take her into the house and they bandage up her knee.
Very good. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. All right. The next story is called Janie Hears a Scary Noise. Okay, so Janie, please, I don't know. What, do you see what this is?
Yep.
Okay, so Janie is in bed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so she's laying in bed. Okay, and her parents are over here and they are doing the dishes. Okay, so they're in the next room doing the dishes, and Janie is laying in bed, and it's dark out, and there's a moon out. You know, it's kind of scary, but you know, she's trying to sleep, and all of a sudden, she hears a noise. What happens next?
She screams to her mom and dad, and her mom and dad come running into the room, and they ask her what's wrong, and she says that she heard a scary noise. So then they're like, "Oh, honey, it's nothing," and they comfort her, and then they stay with her till she falls asleep.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. The next one is, so she falls asleep, okay, and her parents go back to doing what they were doing, and they slept, and it's the next day, and they're doing more of the dishes because they didn't finish them last night. And Janie wakes up, and she does not feel good at all. She feels so sick. What happens next?
She tells her parents that she doesn't feel good. They come running into her room. And then her parents say, "Oh, it's okay. You can just stay home from school if you don't feel that good." So then Janie is all excited, and she stays at her house instead of going to school.
Is that the end of the story?
Yep.
Okay, very nice. All right. Our next story is called Janie Gets Her Painting Wet. So Janie's sitting at the table, okay, and she is painting this amazing picture, and she finished, and it is like the coolest picture she thinks she's ever done in her entire life. It's amazing. And so she gets up to go show her parents, and whoops, she accidentally spills water all over her painting. What happens next?
Well, she starts crying, and her mom and dad come in, and she tells them that she did this amazing painting, and she was going to bring it to her, but then she dropped her water on it, so now the painting's ruined, and she's all upset because she doesn't know what's going to happen, and her parents tell her, "Oh, it's okay, you can paint a new painting."
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. The next story is, see how this is a store?
Mhm.
Okay. Janie and her mom are at the store, and they're walking, they're at the supermarket, they're walking, they're looking around, and all of a sudden they see their neighbor. She's an old elderly woman, but Janie recognizes her and her mom. They say, "Hello, how are you?" And the neighbor lady keeps walking, and Janie catches her eye on, you know, this boom box up here, and it's so cool, and she's looking at it, and her mom leaves her. What happens next?
She starts panicking because she doesn't know what to do, and she's young, so she thinks she doesn't know where her mom is, and she doesn't have a cell phone, so she can't call. So she starts crying, and she goes over to the neighbor lady and tells her that she can't find her mom. So then the neighbor lady takes her hand, and they walk through the store, and they finally find her mom.
Very good. Is that all for that one? Okay, let's change the situation up just a little bit here. Say the neighbor lady is taking her up to the front of the store, okay,
Mhm.
to make a announcement over the loudspeaker to find her mom. So they're walking up there when all of a sudden this lady at the front desk turns around and oh, it's her mom. What happens next?
She goes running over to her mom, gives her a big hug, and says, "Mom, I finally found you. I thought I lost you." And her mom's all excited too, and they thank the neighbor lady, and they go on with their shopping.
Is that all? Okay, that's all. That's all we're going to do with the figures today. So thank you very much, Corey. You did a great job.